be very challenging living in a society that often tells us that one-use products are the way to go, that one-use products are going to radically improve your life. And getting out of that idea over the past 4 to 5 years has been a struggle. But honestly, it's been one of the best things that I've ever done because it not only is good for the environment, good for my family, but also it's good on my pocketbook. So today we're going to talk about 10 things that you can slowly start bringing into your home and replacing those one-use items. There are things that are going to stand the test of time that I've personally had for years. So the first thing that I changed in our home was actually the use of paper towels. Now this is kind of generational for me, so it wasn't a radical shift because my mom does this and my grandma does this, and I'm sure for generations when we didn't have paper towels, this is what they did. So we just use rags. I have a set of rags that we wash all our dishes with and the countertops, and then I have a set of rags upstairs that we wash our bodies with and the toilet and everything else. You can easily throw them in the washing machine and clean them, but if you are very particular and you only want a set just for cleaning your house, you can definitely do that. I mean, you don't have to go rebuy paper towels every month. I don't even know how much they cost anymore, but I'm guessing between like $3 to $5, depending on how much you're buying for paper towels. What a waste of money when a nice thing of towels can cost you $4 and last you for years. Now, if you are somebody who is a die-hard paper towel or napkin person, this can feel strange at first, but I guarantee you that after a month or two of instead of reaching for paper towels, always reaching for rags, it's gonna be second nature, and you might have to do a few more loads of laundry if you have big messes, but overall, it's gonna save you lots of money. Okay, so let's talk about room sprays. I used to buy room sprays for our bathroom and just generally because I thought our dogs didn't smell great. But what I found is that not only are they not usually very good for the environment, but they put out these particles into our air that we are breathing, and most of the time they are not good for us. So what I've decided to do instead is that we can get a few essential oils like lavender, and we'll just rub them on our rags and wipe things down if it starts to smell. But also we have an air filtration system that my husband got on sale. I'll show you the brand. I'll link it down below if I can find the exact one we have. But it cleans the air, and we keep the air filter in our kitchen so it doesn't get stinky with all those smells that go on in a kitchen. But also we have a dehumidifier downstairs that also has helped with the smell in our house. But getting used to not having to buy these sprays all the time has saved us a lot of money. And even though the air filtration system was maybe a couple $100, that's in the long term gonna save us a lot of money, and it's taking the bad things out of the air instead of putting more in. Okay, we're gonna take this sweater off and keep going. Obviously, this is a very exciting topic for me, so maybe that's why I'm getting so excited. All right, I am gonna share the mop, if I can find it, or a very similar mop to the one I have because I love this mop. With 2 dogs and my daughter, often there's a ton of mess on our hardwood floors. But what I have found is that with this very simple mop, it has a head that you can just take off. You throw it in the washing machine when you're done. It has a spray bottle that you can fill with your own sprays, whatever you want for your floors. And so it stops you from having to buy that like Swiffer wet jet that you have to use all the paper products on the bottom and you just throw them away. I get it. That's so simple. I get it. I used to have one. But what I will say is that the mop that I have now, I love being able to pick my own product that I want to use on the floors, but also it saves us so much money. I'm not running out to go buy the replacement bottoms every month when I have to clean our floors. I just have this one set that I can throw in the laundry and easily clean myself. So that goes along with buying a lot of cleaning products, different kinds of sprays for our windows and for the floors and everything else. What I do buy are these little powders. The ones that I get are either from Target, I think it's called Evergreen, or I use the one from the Container Store, which I'll link those down below also. But I love the powders because that means that I can keep my own one glass bottle that I use for cleaning, and I always get the multi-purpose cleaning solution. Having your own spray bottle means that I can buy a really nice spray bottle that's not breaking all the time. And it also means that I'm just saving a lot of money on buying all those plastic sprays for all the different things in my home. The powders that I do buy, which obviously you can just use a little vinegar and water, that's all my grandma ever uses, but the powder that I do like still costs less than having to rebuy the spray bottle and the product all over again. If you're new here, my name is Becky Truda, and on Minimalize, we talk about minimalism, decluttering, and organizing our lives. And as somebody who is now finally clinically diagnosed with ADHD, which makes so much sense to me, I will say that living a minimalist life and being able to use strategies to organize my life have saved me from a lot of headache and a lot of overwhelm. But if you are decluttering already here with us, then make sure that you throw a heart emoji down below to let us know that we are all in this together. So something else that we have really changed up in our home, this was probably a little longer than 5 years ago, but when I was a young adult with my husband and we were working a lot of hours as teachers, we would throw those big cases of one-use water bottles in our fridge and we would just grab them and go to work. Now, while we all know that is not good for our environment, often it was the ease of having them and that they were already relatively cheap. But now I will say that between my husband and I, we have 3 water bottles, all basically for different purposes. And now looking back, I have definitely spent a lot more than it would have cost me back then just to buy one nice water bottle. So I think a lot of times in our society, we get told so often that just buy the thing that's easiest or buy the thing that is cheapest, but being able to really do your research on what kind of water bottle is gonna work for you. Like I have a Stanley, I got it several years ago, but honestly, it's not great unless you're sitting still in one spot. Taking it with me or out on a walk is just not great because it doesn't have a lid that's gonna seal the way I need it to. So that's why I upgraded to the water bottle that I have now. And honestly, I'm gonna keep both because one of them is great for just around the house and the other one is great for being out and about. So picking a water bottle that is going to really work for what you need it for and spending maybe a little bit more, but at the end of the day, it's going to save you a lot of money over the years that you can use it as opposed to having to buy those one-use water bottles. So for many years for me, and I feel like for a lot of people, we buy those one-use really cute soap bottles and people still give them to us for Christmas occasionally. My husband still works in the school system, so that's always a go-to gift for a lot of people to give us. But when we are buying them ourselves, I just buy soap bars. And my mom has bought me a couple from a place called Williamsburg in Virginia, and they have this like soap they make right there, and then they make it into little creatures, which is adorable. And so right now we have a cat soap that we wash our hands with. But the amount of plastic that you can save from going out into the environment by just buying a bar of soap is amazing. So it's taken a little bit of time to find the right soap, especially when you are using it for your body. But I'll link the one that we use in particular ourselves down below in the description if you're interested. What I have found is that, yeah, I still have to get out of the shower and I put a little lotion on, but I had to do that before when I had liquid soap. So I feel like it's fine. But it's one less plastic bottle that is going to have to be put somewhere in our environment. I used to buy just a ton of holiday decor products, whatever you want to call them. So this past year, one of my daughter's favorite things for Christmas are those little calendars where you open it and there's one chocolate. But what I found is that honestly, I can just buy. So I bought like a $5 one where I can fill it with candy or whatever that I want myself. And that's something that I can use over and over again every year until she grows out of it, which hopefully won't be soon. So just being mindful of the things that you are buying for Christmas or Thanksgiving or birthdays. Are they things that you are going to be able to keep and use over and over again if you want? Or are you buying something that is very particular that is only going to be a one-use item? Now, I get it. Sometimes we need paper plates. I totally understand. But during our Thanksgiving, usually it's over at my house. What I do instead is I don't have enough dishes for everyone in my family. So I reach out and I ask my mom, and she brings over her plates and her utensils. And so I'm just suggesting being able to ask other people for help, which honestly was very hard for me in the beginning. But when you are a minimalist, or if you're really trying to cut down on the amount of things you have, asking for help, reaching out to your community is key. Something else that we've gotten rid of are the little Ziploc containers. We don't buy them anymore. And the products that I do use, I'm gonna link down below because I've had them for about 2 to 3 years now. They've been amazing. I mean, you could just go to TJ Maxx, honestly, and you can buy these products for a discounted price, but I'll find them on Amazon for you so that you can see exactly what they look like. But I send them out in my daughter and husband's lunch. When they come back, I just rinse them out. And I know in the beginning, it was kind of annoying because how easy is it to just throw the plastic baggie away every day and not have to clean something else? But what I will say is that thinking over the years and years that I did that and throwing those plastic baggies in the environment, which who knows where they are now, did start to eat away at me, and it made up for taking the extra 30 seconds to wash out these reusable baggies. It's not that I never buy new clothes. I do occasionally. But what I will say is that probably 80 to 90%, if you went through my closet, of the clothes that I own are all bought by thrift stores. That's why a lot of times when I do clothing wardrobe videos, it's really hard because I can't link anything. I don't have a product to show you because I bought it at a thrift store. What I have read is that an American throws away around 80 pounds of clothing a year. And honestly, that shook me. I had no idea that it was going to be that high. But when you go to like Goodwills and thrift stores, you can see it's true. They're always full. And a lot of times, like the shirt I'm wearing right now is barely worn, like no stains. It almost looks like somebody bought it, wore it maybe one time or thought about wearing it one time and then just donated it. So taking that little bit of extra time if you really need something and looking at thrift stores, giving yourself some time, making a list has really helped me to cut back on having to buy things that are brand new. So just keeping as much of the clothes and shoes out of the landfill has been something that we've really used in our family. That goes along with the next one, which is toys. My daughter loves toys. She's 6 years old. She's almost 7. So obviously that's a big thing for her. But what we really try to do is when we are introducing new toys, we like to get them from a thrift store. We like to get them secondhand. So when you go on places like Facebook Marketplace or your thrift store, you find so many toys. A lot of times they are barely played with because the American child has a ton of toys. So what I have found is that just buying them secondhand, my daughter doesn't care. She doesn't care that things and toys are coming secondhand, but it saves us a lot of money and it saves those toys from going in a landfill. If you like learning about minimalism, then let's continue your journey by clicking on one of these videos right here and hopefully continue to learn about how to reduce your footprint on our environment, but also the amount of things in your home.